Story that we tell ourselves deeply affects our lives. When we choose to shift our identity, we have to change the story that we tell ourselves. Our stories are not fixated. We can change them at any time. Hey, welcome back to the Zawadi Within. I'm Zawadi. We're still working on our series, Identity Shift, and I want to talk about rewriting your story. A lot of times we get stuck with a certain narrative and we think because we've been that type of person for such a long time that is who we are destined to be, or we have no control over who we are. But the reality is we are in control of our futures. We are in control of what we allow to continue in our lives. Things may happen to us that we didn't orchestrate or we didn't choose, but how we react to them and how we choose to move forward is our responsibility. So when we tell ourselves a certain narrative, it could be like bad things always happen to me, or things start going well and then, something always comes to mess me up. Those are stories that we tell ourselves. And after a while, we tend to believe those things. And when we believe those things, they become facts in our lives, but we don't realize that we chose that outcome by choosing to believe that lie. Step one in rewriting your story is observing your negative patterns. And this may be hard because the reality is we all have certain negative patterns or self-sabotaging behaviors. But when we take some time to just observe our patterns without judgment, not being like, oh, I shouldn't have done that, oh, I shouldn't have done this, but just observing them, we are able to observe them and then ask ourselves a question. How does this negative pattern serve me? The reality is every negative pattern has a purpose. Mine used to be, and I'm still working on it, used to be overthinking. I would overanalyze certain situations, or if I made a decision and I wasn't sure about it, I would just go over and over again thinking, what could I have done better? What was worse about it? How would I react if I approached the same situation over and over again? And this was a habit I developed because I did very well in school. So I did well academically, but even when I did well, I always felt like whatever I did wasn't good enough. If I got a 98, I would go over what could I have done better to get 100%. And I just got used to this habit, and as I got older, I continued to do this in my day-to-day life. I soon learned that this pattern wasn't serving me because it stole like my joy. It stole the joy of me being proud of myself. It stole the joy of me being grateful for how far I'd come, because as soon as I accomplished something, I was focused on like the next thing that I needed to accomplish. Now, I'm not saying it's bad to want to be an achiever. I'm not saying it's bad to want to grow, want to challenge yourself to be better. Like, there's a part of us that we do need to analyze ourselves so that we can be better, but we should not analyze ourselves to the point where we cannot be grateful for how far we've come, because the more we focus on our flaws, the less we focus on being grateful for what we've done and what we've accomplished and who we are today. And when you are more grateful, it opens up opportunity for more goodness to come into your life because you're already so grateful, so happy for what you have. You are able to fully receive what is coming to you. I had that behavior pattern. I still struggle with it at times because there's a part of me that's afraid that if I don't criticize myself, I won't push myself harder. But I have learned to be really kind towards myself, to be really compassionate towards myself. And the more compassionate I am to myself, actually the better results I get, because I'm grateful for what I have and I'm leaving the results to God. I show up, I put in the effort, and I let God do the rest. And like, this channel is a perfect example of that. There was a time when I was pushing really hard and really trying to be disciplined, really trying to post every day, and I got burnt out, honestly, by that. And I realized like I had to reevaluate my reason for doing this channel. My reason for creating this channel was to reach other people and to encourage them like I wished I was encouraged 2 years ago. My purpose was to help people see how valuable and how special they are, and to go out and fulfill their purpose, and to realize that they need to love themselves to be able to fully maximize their results in this world, because I wished I had that 2 years ago. So I got into like this rat race of accomplishment and putting in a whole bunch of work and then pushing. But when I decided to just show up whenever I felt led and inspired, And I don't even check my views, honestly. I just show up, I post, and I just wait for God to do the rest. And by me doing that in 3 weeks, I gained like 46 subscribers. So that shows you when you push so hard, at times you will not get the results because you're focusing so much on your ego. But if you do your part and then let God do the rest, your ego isn't involved. He gets the glory because you're doing it for Him, in a sense. Like, you're doing it out of the abundance of your heart, not based on what you get, but you're doing it as like a gift of service. You do it, you're grateful, you love it, and you know that it's going to be great regardless, because even if one person sees it, even if one person is blessed, you have fulfilled your purpose. And that's why I want to encourage you to go and not just observe your self-sabotaging behaviors, but to also go and rewrite who you want to be. Be grateful, be compassionate to yourself because of the behaviors that you have. Those behaviors were created for us to protect ourselves. They all have a purpose. They're meant to make us better, or for us to be a cushion towards criticism, or to make us fit into this world. But when we're compassionate towards ourselves and grateful for what we have, we're actually more beneficial to the world. And when we rewrite our story, we rewrite who we want to be. We choose how we get to show up. And what we work at improves over time. Initially, when you choose to create an identity shift, it's going to be awkward. It's going to be weird because your brain is like, that's not who we are. But you have to take authority over your mind and be like, no, this is who I decided to be. And if you have a relapse, that's okay. Give yourself compassion, give yourself grace, and keep going back at it and focusing on who you have decided that you will be. And over time, the more you do that, it will become something that just flows from you. I used to be really shy and really, unsure of myself when I would speak in front of people, because I would feel like maybe people are criticizing me, or just feel like overwhelmed because I felt like I had to be perfect. But now I'm at a point where if I do my best, that literally is good enough for me. If somebody has something to say about it, I'm like, okay, that's cool. That's your opinion. It really means nothing to me, because that person's say so is not the ultimate authority on me. The ultimate authority on me is God and myself. If I'm proud of me, if I know that I did my best, that's good enough for me. I know that's all God asked for me. So if somebody disagrees with my message, or what I do, or what I wear, or how I present myself, that really has nothing to do with me. Honestly, it's a them problem. They have to go and check that out for themselves. So when we're rewriting our story, it is a journey. It's not always going to be smooth sailing, but if we continue to have grace for ourselves and continue to just put one step in front of the other and just slowly take baby steps towards who we want to be, being consistent is all that matters. Continue. If you have a relapse, keep going forward. And at the end of the day, you'll just wake up one day and realize you are that person, without you really feeling like you put that much effort into it. So I just want to encourage you to continue to go on your journey of becoming the best version of you can be. Be grateful for who you are. Be grateful for how far you've come. Give yourself love and compassion, and just keep stepping. Be blessed and have a wonderful day.